Since things aren't going well for her, it appears that Remy Ma is finally beginning to realize how badly she messed up her relationship with Papoose. After months of cheating on him with one of his protégés, it appears that she is ready to do everything to win him back now that he has moved on with someone else. Clarissa Shields, Papoose's new boo admirer, isn't going to let Remy take her guy though, as she recently came out and exposed Remy for attempting to woo Papoose by slinking to pornographic images and other such tactics. What precisely is Remy's eventual goal in this situation? Is she attempting to separate Clarissa and Papoose merely for the sake of doing so? She must have spilled the tea because she ate it and looked far too beautiful to be drinking it. She had a good reason. Now, if you're wondering why Remy Ma appears so thrilled with Clarissa and Papoose, it's because Clarissa isn't your average Instagram badass that rappers pursue once they get unmarried. At first, Remy wasn't particularly concerned about the divorce process since she likely assumed Papoose would come pleading with her to take him back. However, since Papoose had a long-term crush on Remy, it's not shocking that she would believe that. The man got into a lot of difficulty by smuggling her a skeleton key, stood 10 toes down behind her when she was taken to prison, and even got married while she was still there. Never betrayed her in any way. And I'm not sure what devotion is if that isn't it. However, after overplaying her hand in cheating, Remy asked Papoose to stay with her because, as I mentioned earlier, he was deeply in love with her and she believed she could get away with anything. But Papoose said, psych, dumped her, and moved on with Clarissa, which was the final straw for him. Given that Papoose had recently ended a long-term romance with Remy Ma and likely didn't want to be in a public relationship so soon, we assumed they would keep their relationship low-key. Given how deeply he and Remy were in love and how, for a period, they were the model of black love in Hollywood, Papoose shocked everyone by choosing to have a highly visible relationship with Clarissa. As I previously stated, Clarissa is neither a no-bimbo nor an Instagram badass. She is among the world's best female boxers and mixed martial artists. She holds all 4 major boxing world titles in 3 weight classes, making her the only boxer in history, male or female. Being a champion in 5 different divisions makes her the 3rd female boxer in history. She now holds the record for the fewest professional fights needed to become a 2, 3, 4, and 5 division world champion. Additionally, as of October 2022, ESPN and The Ring classified her as the best active female middleweight and the best active female boxer, pound for pound. In addition to being younger than Remy, she is also extremely successful, accomplished, and wealthy. Sources claim that Remy finds this upsetting because she can no longer claim that Papoose has been demoted. I won't try to claim that Remy isn't a catch herself because she used to be a successful rapper and is doing well for herself, but as I mentioned earlier, she just cannot claim that Clarissa is a downgrade. You all recall how she and Papoose broke up after she easily cheated on him with the block captain.
This nigga just till you stop screwing the business. If a nigga thought you was to help, that could really ruin your image. Talking Barack and Michelle, Cap and Rim. That's us. Y'all the poster child symbol for black love. You think that y'all marriages still have to go through them stages? Every interview, he show his admiration and tell the world how he think his woman the greatest. Held you down in prison for 6 years.
Now, in a fit of rage, Papoose fought easy and knocked him unconscious. But he was stupid about me at that moment. Even though she spent months denying the affair and asserting that her marriage to Papoose was good and that people were making things up, she may not have realized it at the time. However, Papoose quickly went public with Clarissa after making it apparent that he had moved on from Remy. He made an effort to treat Remy with respect, though, and never publicly accused her of cheating or did anything hurtful to make her feel uncomfortable. Remy, however, became enraged over Clarissa's relationship and chose to blow things up on social media in order to make things more unpleasant for Clarissa and Papoose. She arranged it precisely to take place at the same time as Ryan Destiny and several other musicians were scheduled to appear in the film based on Clarissa's life. The movie was a huge success, and Clarissa needed all the good press she could get. Fans believed Remy was jealous and intended to intentionally ruin it for her. She attacked Clarissa and Papoose on Instagram, posting messages that Clarissa had given him that said, "You take accountability. It is you who is married. Telling me you made it home safely or that you fell asleep in the Sprinter shouldn't be a huge issue if you can at least sleep with me over the phone or in person." Before Papoose and Remy formally parted things, it sounded like Clarissa and Papoose were skulking around. She was requesting that Papoose be upfront with her and Remy cloud her for the writing, but Papoose fell asleep on the phone with Clarissa and is still lying in my house, refusing to go. She should be a boxing world champion, but as soon as she heard my voice, she became frightened and hung up. I'm telling you everything now. Oh, and you're not alone, sweetheart. She didn't stop there though, because she also stated that this woman named Clarissa Shills and that sorry-ass publicity squad had been spreading false information about me every day for too long in an attempt to make me look awful and him appear to be God's gift. Pat repeatedly told me to be quiet when I pleaded with him to release something to halt the narrative. That's the best course of action. Well, I'm worn out. Oh, and he said that because you're unattractive, he would never F you. Don't worry though. I witnessed everything. Now that you're so tough, boo, the world will see it. After leaking more texts, Remy revealed that Clarissa was furious that Remy had exposed her online. She blew up Papoose's phone, saying things like, I know you hate the internet games, but you need to do something today about this girl. Remy was determined to cause as much trouble as she could. When my PR staff sees this, they will go crazy. I can't be out there exposing her and all that before the movie comes out on December 25th. Has your other phone arrived yet? Don't worry, nothing she says or includes in her story worries me. Papoose, you an idiot. Remy wrote after that. He followed your advice, Miss Shells, but not before I took a screenshot of your conversation. He was getting me arrested, I see now. The woman who hasn't cheated on him in 17 years is planning to ruin me with one of his side chicks. That same woman who had the opportunity to expose you through my platform. While I was away and he was holding me down, the girl sent me all of your pictures and messages. Imagine him saying, he wrote my rhymes, as a sidebar. And since he also threatened to do so, if anything private was leaked about me, it was him. Remy then went on to disclose even more texts where it looked like Clarissa was begging Papoose for the bare minimum. Stating, I'm not happy, but okay, I'm going to stop. I don't want to add to your already existing stress, so I'm going to stop talking about how I feel because it's not justified. I'm just tired of talking, and you're not listening, so I can't thank you for being honest, even though that's always the best course of action. You can do whatever you want. I won't say anything else. I'm asking for gifts, I'm tripping. I express that I'd like flowers, I'm tripping. I have a special time set aside for me, and I'm just lying here feeling foolish. Let me clarify the remainder of this by saying, hey, Ms. Shelves, I'm a good woman who is a one-boyfriend, just like I was a one-husband man. That's why MFers won't simply leave. Oh, and he believes he is the winner. Thus he will never buy you anything. He is a taker rather than a giver. I'm the one with the bag too. Hee hee heh. I'm not the opponent you want, so please quit toying with me. Your guy is upset because I'm actually really joyful and not even angry. Oh, and even though you claim to feel foolish, you also appear foolish. At this time, Remy is doing quite well because Pap had to intervene and defend himself and his lady. He called Remy out for being salty over him abandoning her even though she cheated on him over and over again with more men than easy to block captain. He replied, sad to say that Remy Ma is a narcissist. She kept cheating. Now that I finally moved on, she's playing the victim. I've made multiple divorce requests. She'd rather clout chase on social media than handle this like normal people. For the sake of my 6-year-old child, I did not want to engage in this social media folly. She must attend school. I don't say anything at all, as you can see. I will never get anyone arrested, he added. You are lying once more. That is easily verifiable. It was you who tampered with the cops. It is pitiful to lie about history that happened in front of the world. Making up text messages that you say were sent 10 years ago. It is narcissistic behavior to fabricate a story to defend cheating. He went on to discuss the suspicions that Remy had cheated on him with his friend, which at the time was simple to ignore. Stating that this is where Remy was last Christmas when I was at home with my daughter. I finally moved on, and now she's upset and lying. Egocentric. I informed her that we could get a divorce like grown-ups. I wouldn't lie and say I didn't knock this chump out, so she won't do that. She continued to message me, pleading with me to fabricate the knockout. Who cares though? He didn't return a single blow. Really soft. My daughter, as you can see, couldn't wait to lie about it again. I'm a narcissist. I didn't knock him out because he was up with my wife. I did it because he shook my hand and then supper my wife. Remy's mother denied the accusations of abandoning their daughter on Christmas, saying that all you do is lie. The last time I saw this chump, he was in the fetal position. Everyone saw that I knocked him out, and Remy woke him up and took him home with him for 4 days. In the background, Do you appear okay? On any significant day, I am with my child no matter what. You tried to pressure me for money so that your divorce would go smoothly, and you have a serious gambling addiction. I've been pleading with you to leave and let's have a private divorce for years, she went on. However, you stated that a public outcry is the only way you can leave. You utilize social media, and you know I'm not into that. In the same manner, you turn my morals, which stem from my past and my reputation as a gangster girl, against me. Saying things like, "Oh no, Remy Ma is going to call the police for assistance. You are a rat and a snitch. Make a call to Joe and your brothers." My foolish self was telling them no, don't say anything about the real you, while you attempted to cut me off from everything and everyone. You will stop at nothing to maintain the perception of black love that I helped you create. And you didn't mind the lies being spoken about me? How many of my friends and family members have you deliberately alienated and shunned? Additionally, she asserted that he was extremely envious of her success, saying, "You hated that I started my rap battle league and was mad. I was supporting other rappers instead of you. You stated he would try to ruin it." Everyone knew what they heard happened, not what they actually saw, and I'm so tired of the phony knockout tale. You also insisted that it would go. Even if you are wearing a mask and sneaking in and out like a nighttime robber, my security knows you are there. Because he rushed out after knowing you. By paying for information and feeding battle rappers in my company stories, you contributed to the public's perception of a false narrative. Then you forced me to accompany you to the awards and pretend everything was fine. All because you were envious of me receiving kind treatment and feeling important. She then made some grave claims that she was a victim of domestic violence because Papoose was with her and supposedly touched her often. "Play with police," she wrote. You forgot that the pool was never completed because you were attacking me in the garage and the workers had to call the police to get you to stop? I'm not an editor. The audio and video come next. Continue to lie. But she came right in here, you know. She wasn't finished, so yuck that idiot. Because she at last disclosed the true source of her irritability. She claims that she and Clarissa have a long history together. Before Clarissa stole her husband from her right under their noses and stabbed her in the back, everything was okay. She said, and here's Papoose' weirdo girlfriend wishing me Happy New Year's a couple days later, along with screenshots of Clarissa in her direct messages. In fact, this woman kept hitting me to ask me how to flaunt her figure. This is absurd. But I made this monster. Praising you while remaining silent about the truth and realizing that something wasn't right. You feel comfortable lying to these folks because you believe you know what I have. You will be regretful, I assure you. Clarissa eventually responded, "I can't believe a 45-year-old woman is crashing out like this," since she was weary of Remy's bullshit. Clowning. I'm not 45 yet, but you're 29 and I'll just say this, you're not aging like wine, Remy clapped back. I'm not your adversary again. Tell your lover to purchase you some gifts and flowers, and don't answer his phone because he spent this week with his Cali gal. Not her accusing Papa of cheating on Clarissa or attempting to do so. But Clarissa called Remy out for fabricating the text in order to get into trouble, stating, "You're crazy for making fake texts. I'm not a bee that you can intimidate. You're making a fool of yourself and are angry and spiteful. Simply put, stop it." Clarissa Schultz versus Remy Ma, she said, challenging Remy to a full-on brawl. February 2nd. Come, get out of your asshole. We've heard that Remy may have clues, but even she knows that she won't be able to fight Clarissa because she's one of the best in the gang. For this reason, she didn't respond to the fight challenge, and the drama seemed to end there. At least that's what we thought it did, since Clarissa just revealed something crazy. Claiming that in an attempt to get Pap back, Remy has supposedly been sending him explicit photos. If you're asking why, it's most likely because he has been showing Clarissa off and going to games while they were having a great time. Even Clarissa came forward to confess her intense love for him.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There you go. we deserve each other. But I don't know, it's kind of one of those things. I was like, I want to keep him all to myself. I didn't really,
That's not all though, because there are rumors that Papoose is going to pop the question and propose to Clarissa. It appears that his unpleasant experience with Remy hasn't soured his views on love, and he is prepared to move forward with Clarissa. It doesn't appear that Remy is going to give up easily though, as she is allegedly attempting to woo him and still get him back from her. Clarissa isn't the one to play with, as insiders say she is prepared for things to get ugly and fight for her man. This is a mess, but I'd like to know what you guys think about it.